The first setback was I was a control freak.
Welcome to Focus Focus. Voices leading change.
It's been a wicked week interacting with people that have come from so many avenues of success, and hearing their stories of struggle and what they've had to work through has been part of the success of this week. And there's a quote that I'm going to share, and this was from a reflection that I had in 2023, and it said that success is the reward for setbacks, and today we're going to unpack that. It's nice to see a company doing really well in all realms, from my personal opinions. I love to see people succeed. I love to hear of the stories of success and the impact that they are having on their people. I love to read about the continued success that they are having, the new relationships, the new markets, the new areas that they've broken into that allows them to continue to exercise their success and their capabilities and their skill sets. It's really important for me to continue to read those stories and see the success and ask questions of myself about what aligns with me and what doesn't. But the reality is, for a lot of people going into the business world, they don't have a good opportunity to realize at the time that actually it is the setbacks that you are looking for that those setbacks are going to teach you all that you need to know about your next steps. I was in a podcast on Monday with my good friend Will, and we were talking through some stuff, and he asked me that for a saying or a quip or a quote that would help in a mentorship role, and I said, follow fear. That is your path to success. Fear of failure is a major issue when people want to get started in their business. I often hear, man, I would love to get into business. I'd love to do that. I have this idea, but I don't know where to start. And when we unpack that, we need to figure out for that person, what does it look like to put one foot in front of the other? And this is one piece of advice that I'm going to give you. Go back and look at your setbacks. I'm going to dig into one thing that I spoke with Will, and some people know and some people don't. We used to own a gym. I'd had enough of teaching. I was at the time doing CrossFit, and I loved it. Not so much the fitness, but I loved the barbell. And we decided to go into that window of let's open a gym. We opened a gym in Epsom, a CrossFit gym. It was called CrossFit MCR, which stood for Marlo, Courtney, and Ray. Frankie wasn't there at that time, so aroha mai Frankie, but that was what we were called. We had passion behind it. We had enthusiasm, a desire to grow, to carry opportunity for our coaches to grow, to create opportunity for our community to grow, help people get fitter, stronger, faster. Everything was there for success. Everything was there for people to succeed. And quite frankly, from the front side looking in, it was successful. We had a big community. People were returning regularly. We had very low injury rate, which was a thing at CrossFit at that time. We were helping people achieve their goals. They were wanting to look better, and we were helping with that, and it was fantastic. But on the back end, what people didn't realize is that the setbacks that were there and not going away were actually playing a major role in inhibiting our success. First thing is, the first setback was I was a control freak. I was there from very early in the morning, 4:30 or so, till late at night. And that was my role in that space. And it was me trying to take control of everything in that lens to try to ensure a probability of success. It burnt me out. I lost enthusiasm very fast. And then I actually pigeonholed myself into, okay, I'm just going to coach this part of it, and that's what I'm going to do. And that actually isolated off my community and in some ways alienated my community, because they were like, oh, hang on, well, how come we don't get to have Ray as a coach now? The second setback further to that is that because I used to do all the coaching, all of a sudden I was doing bugger all of the coaching and people got miffed about it. And that's okay, because I think natural evolution of business and leadership and growth in that stage is to evolve into a position that you're not having to do everything. That's how I kind of saw it. Unfortunately, I took all that personally when people were miffed with me about not being involved all the time. That was a setback because I didn't have the resilience to actually deal with people not liking me. That was an element in there of people pleasing that really was a major setback. The third one was, as a setback, I had no real clue about the financial structures of success. You can be as passionate as you want. You don't know your numbers, you're in trouble. It was simple, right? Build a gym, get X amount of memberships. This is what the lease pays. This is how much this is. Let's do that. Simple, easy, right? I need X amount of members and I need this amount of bills, costs low, income high, success, right? But actually, that was not the equation that allowed us to achieve. And financially, it was actually a major flop. There's three major setbacks there that really damaged my confidence. But when I go through that now and look at that today, those are the lessons that I carried into our current company with Future Focus, which now Ashley's really taking on another level of. Those lessons I carried hard, making sure that I did not make those same mistakes again. It's critical. Those are the things that I share with other business owners. Are you aware of this? Do you know your numbers? Sure, love that you're passionate about the product, but does the product work? Are you able to create more opportunity to grow your leaders, to grow your coaches, to grow the people that are actually going to continue to deliver value to your community at all times? And some of the key steps that we've taken in that space for Future Focus has been around addressing those setbacks that really put us into a position of hurt. I'm going to say it also put a lot of pressure on my marriage. It was not a good thing. We had a brand new baby coming in with Frankie. Marla was young, and I was not there because I was always at work. It was actually a terrible situation for myself and Courtney, and for the thing that I valued the most, which is my marriage and then obviously my children. That was could have been an extremely damaging situation to which we were able to avoid. That is why I set goals all the time, first and foremost about being a husband and a father, because they are my priority, and I have to make sure that that setback isn't permanent, because that is a setback that I do not want to get to, and I want to avoid at all costs. So, setbacks. I think you've got to understand that you go back and look at those setbacks and you understand them, you dig into them, you question yourself, you question elements of yourself, and you try to figure out why that stuff happened. Can you solve it? Can you implement that knowledge? And then go from there, and that will continue to help you build the probability of success. When you look back at those parts and pieces, don't just look internally as well. Look at who was around you at the time. Did you use them to great effect? See, I had great coaches and people involved in the gym that loved the gym, but I know I wasn't using them to great effect because I was still controlling a lot of this stuff. Do you also take what the lessons are that those people carry for you and actually apply them and let them set in? See, that's the thing. I see other business owners, I've been guilty of this myself. I get an idea, I implement it really quickly, and then I actually don't let it just permeate through the business or the situation. And actually we don't end up seeing the change or the lifting the success probabilities purely because we don't leave it in place for long enough. That's a major issue. I also think putting out those setbacks that you went through and sitting down with people that have been there, done that, is a real key to ensuring that you are carrying the lesson of the setback into your future success. Those people, especially if they're people that you have around you that you know will be really honest, they will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. They will make sure that you do not, ideally, do not reach that same setback again. And if you do, I think it is a chance, like I did, to get back, reflect, look in the mirror and say to myself, hey, am I proud of some of the decisions I've made? Is that the right decision I'm making? And what can I do to avoid those setbacks? The last thing I want to put to bed around a lot of this stuff is we also have to be very clear about what success is. For me personally, I went through something last night where I was seeing all this cool stuff coming through on our social feeds, through our leadership council chat. I was talking to people were buzzing. We're hearing out in the community that this is going on and doing this, and Future Focus is doing this, and Ashley's achieving this, and Rose is doing this, and we've got all this stuff going on. And actually, when it comes back down to measuring success, I look at the things that I can't go out and buy. I think that's important to understand. I look at what I get to do, which is go and sit down with people who really want to change their landscape or change their view on the world or change their approach to working with people or leading people. I look at success as being my kids feel happy and fulfilled. They are excited to go to school and to come home and tell me about their day. They are not concerned about the good and the bad things, and I can engage in conversations with them that allows me to really hug them and kiss them and tell them I'm proud of them. I love that. It's a huge aspect that I'm really proud of. And seeing the success of Courtney and her desire to grow is massively important. It's those sorts of elements when I start to evaluate what is success, and I've landed on this. Success is something you can't buy tomorrow. When you ask yourself, what would I pay to repeat that situation again? And if the answer is, well, it doesn't matter what money you can pay, then you know that you actually got to continue to find those moments and live through those moments and really lean into creating more of those moments. So I want you to understand, success is really a celebration of your setbacks. Analyze your setbacks. Be kind to yourself about your setbacks. Reach out to people about your setbacks and pick their brain about how to avoid and learn from them. And ultimately, prepare yourself for more setbacks, because if you're doing great things, great challenges will come. Up the wahs.